The spaceship Atlas drifted through the vacuum of space, a solitary speck against the backdrop of an infinite star. Filled metal groaned softly as its engines hummed with a rhythmic pulse, the sounds echoing holily in its confined quarters. Inside, the crew moved like shadows. Their face is drawn tight with a weariness that could only be born of long hours spent in the dark. Communication screens blinked with data feeds, and the air was laced with the faint scent of synthetic coffee, barely masked by the sterile smell of recycled air. Captain Elena Moore ran her fingers through her short-cropped hair, observing her crew as they went about their tasks with mechanical precision. It had been 3 long years since they had left Earth, and Elena felt the weight of responsibility bearing down on her. Whatever fear, hope, or desperation had led her and her crew to the dark edge of the galaxy, it had created a bond that was nearly unbreakable now. They were returning after a mission that had shattered their beliefs more than it had fulfilled their aspirations. Captain Ivrekel vibrated the sensors for the 7th time. Private Lila Torres looked up from her station, her dark eyes filled with an exasperated warmth. Are we seriously still searching for interference from the distress signal? It's been days since we got anything. Elena turned from the observation window and approached Lila. We will find it. We can't turn back now. If there are survivors or evidence, her voice trailed off, and she felt her heart clench. They had encountered something horrific on their last mission. A creature born of despair and horror, the memory of combat against an unearthly force haunted her dreams. Lila chewed on her lower lip, the crackle of static from the comms filling the silence between them. You know, I thought this would be exciting, like some great adventure. But these past few months have felt more like a nightmare. I can't shake the feeling we left something behind. Elena could see the weight of that thought pressing on Lila's shoulders. It was an echo of what everyone felt, even if they masked it with bravado. Hey, we survived it, Lila, we made it back. Elena put a reassuring hand on her shoulder and gave a soft squeeze. We have each other. We have hope. Just then, the ship's alarms blared in a chaotic symphony, cutting the quiet hum of machinery. A red light blipped on the main console, punctuating the air with urgency. The crew sprang into action. Elena's heart bit quickened. What's happening? She called out. Captain, we've picked up an anomaly. Something or someone is trying to make contact. Lila's voice rose over the din as she punched keys on her console, brow furrowing in concentration. On screen, Elena barked, feeling adrenaline course through her veins. Their prior mission had opened a Pandora's box of horrors. She couldn't shake the feeling that whatever lay hidden in the void was drawing them in again. A frozen visage appeared on the screen, a fractal display of colors, surging and fading in a manner resembling both beauty and danger. Within it, she spotted movement, a shimmering silhouette. Flickering. Was it human? The holographs distorted, making recognition impossible. It seemed to pulse with its own heart. Bit casting erratic shadows. Commander Zeke Wilder, came a voice that sent a chill racing down Elena's spine. The distortion of the image barely masked the command that lay hidden within the timber. We need your help. It's here. Zeke had been the heart and soul of their original crew, lost on that terrifying planet under the bravest of circumstance. They had us. And he was dead, captured by that insidious creature. The last they knew, he had fought valiantly against the backdrop of defeat. They'd left him behind, concluding their mission before the Sentinel could close in. But now they understood the deeper implications of that choice. Zeke. Elena breathed out, a surge of conflicting emotions rushing through her. Anger, fear, regret, they mingled in an intoxicating dance. We thought you were gone. On screen, Zeke appeared older, his features worn and shadowed. You need to understand we left more than just me behind. It's still here, the thing that came for us. It had more than just teeth and claws. It's something else, and it has followed me. His voice dropped, bearing the weight of unspeakable knowledge. You need to prepare yourselves. It's coming for you. Lila looked at the screen, her eyes widening. The ship trembled slightly, the interstellar silence disturbed by an undercurrent of something vast and unwelcome. What do you mean? What is it? She asked, the tremor in her voice betraying her bold fuss. I can't explain it clearly. Zeke's image flickered, growing dimmer. But it's a part of me now. Fear, shame, regret, they awoke something primal inside me. The monster that chased us is no longer alone. A whisper crept through the comms, barely audible. It's inside us all. It's inside me. A thick silence drowned the room. The gravity of Zeke's words settled like an anchor in their chests. They had been running away, building their hopes on a future free of terror. But there was no secure sanctuary. The monstrosity they thought they had left behind was far more harrowing. Elena regained her voice, the urgency snapping her back into focus. Zeke, where are you? We can come and get you. A pause stretched out, thick with tension. No, there's still time. If you can get the ship to Velara, I'll send you coordinates. But you must. The screen flickered before going dead, leaving the crew in uncomfortable silence, staring at the glimmering void where Zeke had been. Captain, Lila shouted, adrenaline surging through her. We need to move. If what he said is true, it's coming for us. Set a course for Velara, Elena commanded, her tone steadying. We need to get there. We need him. As the ship jerked into motion, the crew resumed their stations, a mixture of unarticulate fear and unswerving duty painted on their face. Is beneath their strength's vulnerability laced every beating heart. They were staring into the abyss that lay both before and within them. The monster they thought they had left behind had its claws deep into their souls as the Atlas hurtled through the darkness. Whispers floating through the ship told of suspicions blossoming, nightmares shaping their reality. Something stirred in their blood, something awakened by fear and pain. But they had to press forward to face the shadows that clung to them, and as they approached Velara, where Zeke's presence flickered with urgency, they prepared themselves for a reunion fraught with uncertainty. Trapped by their fears and their past, perhaps their real battle awaited beyond the coordinates. Perhaps it lay deep within each of them. The Atlas surged through the cold void with new found urgency, its engines roaring to life with vibrant intensity. Captain Elena Moore could barely contain the tumult of emotions that twisted inside her. Zeke's warning gnawed at the edges of her consciousness like a hungry predator. They needed to find him, not just to rescue a lost comrade, but to confront the shadows looking within each of them. As she navigated through the ship's narrow corridors toward the command center, they passed the common area where remnants of laughter still echoed from the memory of their previous campaign. Lila's voice rang through her mind, filled with the lightness of hopeful camaraderie, a stark contrast to the looming specter of fear. Elena could sense the weariness of her crew, wrapped around them like thick fog. But there were glimmers of resolve shining through the gloom in the command center. Lila was already busy sorting through Zeke's last transmission. The crew had gathered, clustering around the screens, their collective energy, tense yet electric with a fire that rekindled the bands they had forged. Elena took her place in the center, observing their face. Is a microcosm of humanity navigating the vastness of space. All right, team, she began, her voice steadying. We're heading towards Velara. We need to be prepared for anything. Zeke might be our best chance to understand what we're up against, but there's no guarantee everything will go smoothly. Private Amir Khan looked up from his station, his dark curls framed a face marked by uncertainty. Captain, if Zeke's been living with whatever that thing is, can we really trust him? The room fell silent, heavy with the gravity of his words. We have no choice. Zeke was our leader, our friend. He deserves that trust, and we need it ourselves, Elena replied. But we must be vigilant. This is just about saving him. It's about unraveling the darkness that's intertwined with our own hearts. Samantha Ray, their engine, ear nodded through clenched teeth. Our lives depend on how deeply we understand this threat. Zeke can guide us. We just have to ensure we don't let fear overcome our judgment. Their destination loomed near, a celestial body wrapped in iridescent blues and greens. The crew burst in quiet chatter as they prepared mentally for the landing, emotions swirling in the air between them. Moments of warmth ebbed and flowed, reminding them of their shared humanity as they descended toward Vel. The planet vibrate with a richness that seemed almost alive, the rolling hills and deep valleys, blanketed in strange but inviting flora, reminded them of Earth, a home they had left behind, yet now yearned for even more tailored ecosystems designed to sustain life. Dispelled an unfamiliar sense of comfort as they landed. Elena activated the ship's disembarkation protocols, her heart racing. The crew filtered down the ramp and into the alien landscape, despite the eerie undertones from Zeke's warnings. The surroundings demanded their attention, glowing bioluminescent flowers unfurled in every direction. Gentle breezes carried an almost musical quality, wrapping them in an ethereal embrace while Lila breathed, her eyes wide. This place is stunning. We should take an extra moment to appreciate it before the chaos. Amir smiled hesitantly, unwinding from the tension that had gnawed at his shoulders as they walked deeper into the vibrant wilderness. Their sense is awakened, sound mingled with the sweet smell of alien blossoms as they absorbed the unique environment. They were explorers again, albeit with raw urgency now braided into their curiosity. Yet beneath the surface, frightening thoughts loomed. Would Zeke be a ghost of the past, contaminated by the darkness he faced? What had happened to him? Would the team be able to rekindle the camaraderie they once shared after what felt like an eternity of navigating through the lush foliage? Zeke's cord it's flashed on Lila's wrist. Comms. The crew stood before a clearing that unveiled a mosaic of thick greenery and a dilapidated structure, half consumed by vegetation. An unsettling quiet settled around them, accentuated by the occasional rustle in the bush. Is a subtle reminder that they were no longer alone. Elena needed a moment, pausing to observe the dilapidation before her. It reminded her of lost dreams, remnants of stories echoing from the past, memories of laughter intertwined with unfulfilled hopes. Movement blurred at the corner of her vision, sending a shiver down her spine. Together, they moved forward cautiously, up and entering the forsaken structure. The scent of damp earth enveloped them. Shadows danced along crumbling walls, caught in the glow of bioluminescent vines snaking their way through cracks in the masonry. The atmosphere tinged with something unsettlingly familiar, felt almost like home, a home that harbored ancient whispers and secrets. Zeke. Lila's voice quivered through the stillness, but it echoed faintly back, a reminder of their isolation. As they advanced deeper into the complex, they encountered scattered items, faded photos, personal belongings, paint-smeared walls that echoed vibrant laughter. Long extinguished remnants of Zeke's life pulsate with unheard stories. Elena felt a swell of empathy for her friend, the realization striking her with the force of a meteor. He hadn't just been lost, he had been fighting a battle he could fathom, entwined with horrors that had clawed at his very essence. Suddenly, a burst of energy pulsed through the space, and the walls seemed to breathe with renewed vigor. Zeke stepped from the shadows, a ghostly figure, transformed yet unmistakably familiar. His eyes were haunted pools, each pupil tinged with anguish, but also determination. They locked with Elena's, a connection forged through shared struggles. Elena, he murmured, his voice cracking. You came, of course we did, Zeke. We never stopped looking for you. She took a step forward, her heart pounding as she found herself wrestling through a tide of bittersweet memories. Are you all right? If changed, his voice carried the weight of their darkest nightmares, thick with burden, yet laced with warmth. But I still need you. Elena shrugged off the impulse to recoil, reminding herself of their shared past, one that had changed but not vanished. She embraced him, an act of kindness echoing through the hollow spaces they had traveled. The atmosphere shifted, cradling them within memories of connection that transcended mere words. Zeke pulled back, glancing around at the gathered crew, a flicker of recognition igniting in his gaze. Lila. Amir, it's so good to see you. All Lila stepped forward, eyes glistening. We thought we lost you, Zeke. The reports, the silence, there's so much to explain. His voice was heavy with the collective burdens they all carried. And there's something in me that needs to be shared. We've awakened something. During our time together, tension thickened as they turned to him, awaiting his revelation, with trepidation. Zeke stepped back, his gaze deepening with resolve as he led them further in. The mystery behind the dilapidated stronghold shadows clung to the walls like ghosts, illuminating a flickering path for them to follow. I learned from the darkness. Zeke continued, his tone a tapestry of memory and struggle. It's been a part of me, a consequence I never anticipated, but together. He paused, observing the glimmers of humanity in their eyes. Together we can confront it. It's not about what we see, but how we understand what lives within us. Zeke, I don't know if I can. Amir started, words catching in his throat as vulnerability seeped in. Their circle, the reminder of what they had faced, haunted the edges of their consciousness. Lila stepped closer, her voice gentle. We're all connected by the fear we share, by the shadows that linger in our dreams, but we can carry that weight together. Elena observed as they exchanged glance. Their expressions revealing unspoken struggles of guilt, pain, and a longing for acceptance that transcended their past. A flicker of realization ignited within her as she recognized the tapestry of emotions that cycled around them. They were not just individuals, they were a community knit together through shared experience. Is that wielded a profound power to heal. Zeke nodded, the tension in his brow easing as he absorbed their solidarity. If seen things horrifying, beautiful, grotesque, it's all interwoven with life on this planet. Essence and shadows coexist here in a delicate balance. What do you mean? Samantha asked, her curiosity and open. Zeke gestured towards an elaborate mural painted on the inner walls of the bunker. Swirls of color depicted scenes of joy, despair, struggle, and connection. This is how I discovered it, the creature that chased us. It does stand alone. It is a manifestation of our collective fears, doubts, and pain. It thrives on anguish. When I found myself trapped here, I was forced to confront my own darkness, the regrets that had festered deep inside. Amir stepped forward, his posture tense yet protective. So, what do we do, Zeke? How do we confront it together? As if summoned by their questions, the atmosphere rattled. A pulse of energy radiated through the clearing, causing it to tremble with a resonance that felt almost alive. Zeke's eyes widened, a spark igniting within him, urging him forward. We can create a shield, anchor ourselves to this connection we share. We need to stand united, lean on one another, and face the darkness as a team. As they gathered closer, hands reaching out across the anxiety of the unknown, warmth spread through the group. A quiet strength built up, and the foundation of shared experience is forged in the crucible of their journey. Lila squeezed Zeke's forearm, her voice gentle whisper, we're with you, we can face whatever comes our way. Amir held Lila's hand, turning to the group. Each of us has scars, we carry things that haunt us, but they make us stronger together. We can overcome what threatens to con us. Elena felt her heart swell with pride in that moment. The fabric of their lives wound in a tapestry of love, healing, understanding, and shared burdens. They were allies. In every sense, a family brought together by their struggles, forged in you with each thoughtful gesture and heartfelt connection. Let's do this, she spoke, her voice resolute, carrying the weight of hope and unity. As they joined hands, the vibrancy of their connection pulsed around them, illuminating the shadows that whispered menacingly at the edges of the clearing. Glimmers of warmth transcended their fears, and acceptance erased the fragile lines of doubt that had emerged within them. They became a tapestry, each thread intertwined to create something whole, something that shimmered even in obscurity. The stage was set for a confrontation that would ebb and flow like the stars flickering high above. The anticipation drawing tight in the air together. They faced the unknown, knowing that the bonds they cultivate it would become their greatest strength in the depths of struggle ahead. As Zeke led the way deeper into The heart of the structure, they stilled themselves for the impending confrontation that awaited them, a tense dance between darkness and light, echoes of their shared past feeling, their momentum embodied. In their spirits, it was time to discover just how far they had come and what unknown depths lay ahead. Together, they would confront the darkness not just outside them, but within, unshackled burdens and unbroken bands. Their destiny await. It whispering promises of unity through every step forward in the heart of the crumbled structure on Velara. The crew of the Atlas stood together, it in a circle of resolve. Captain Elena Moore felt the energy swell as they clasped hands, creating an invisible thread of connection that pulsed through them, binding their thoughts, hopes, and fears into a singular force they could draw upon. As their hands tightened around one another's, she could see the reflections of bravery in their eyes, a glimmer of unity that transcended the darkness that loomed. Zeke stood at the center, his gaze steady and unwavering, resonating with a wisdom that felt hard-won. In the shadows of the forgotten stronghold, he embodied both the burden of his experiences and a flicker of radiant hope. "We will face it together," he said, his voice a soothing undercurrent against the tense stillness. "Whatever lies ahead, as long as we hold on to this connection, we will confront our fears." Elena knew they were venturing into the heart of a nightmare, but the thought of their shared strength soothed her. It was the belief in one another that renewed their embers of courage. Over the months, they had learned to weave their vulnerabilities into something far greater, a tapestry rich, not only with their struggles but with new found understanding. With every challenge faced, they had grappled with the shadows that had haunted them, and now they stood poised for the ultimate confrontation. Slowly, the hand-holding became a gentle squeeze of shared reassurance. Lila, her youthful spirit ignited with a fire of determination, spoke first, her voice piercing through uncertainty. "We might have been fighting this alone at first, but look at us now. To think we've traversed fear, loss, and doubt, yet here we are. Together we can face anything." Amir nodded fervently, his heart swelling with pride for the brave souls standing beside him. "We've come so far. Together, we can forge our path and reclaim every lost fragment of ourselves." He inhaled deeply, capturing the vibrant essence of their collective spirit. "Whatever happened before, we hold the power to change it. This is just about Zeke, it's about all of us." Samantha, her bright eyes reflecting the determination that wrapped around them like a cloak, chimed in, her voice steady. "Each scar we have tells a story. Just like this place, a testament to what we've overcome. We have to remember that every thread of pain has woven us in something strong. This darkness lurks within us, yes, but it cannot define us." Elena felt each voice resonate within her, reminding her of the beauty that lay in shared experience. As the little acts of kindness exchanged amid the chaos, they had carved a community amid the uncertainty, a family that thrived on trust and embraced vulnerability. It was this bond that illuminated the path forward, even against the encroaching shadows, as they advanced deeper into the dilapidated halls. The sensation of being watched slithered around them, shadowy tendrils whispering doubts. But with each step, they bathed those whispers in light. Wherever they walked, conversations echoed within the walls, unlocking memories of warmth amid the suffocating weight of past burdens. No fear could eclipse their courage. They had all borne witness to each other's struggles, cultivating a sense of belonging that had liberated their spirits. Suddenly, the walls shivered and faint whispers melted into a growl, a primal sound that resonated deep within their cores. The air thickened with an electric tension, a mixture of memory and manifestation. Shadowy figures began to coalesce, swirling tendrils escaping the darkness, abomination born of fear and old regrets. They twisted and turned, forming grotesque shapes, each echoing long-held doubts and unfulfilled dreams. A visual cacophony of agony materialized before the crew, each shadow a manifestation of emotional turmoil. Elena could feel the tremors of their hearts when the darkness loomed before them. It felt all too real. It was a hurdle they could not escape, not alone. But that was the transformative power of togetherness. The moment they acknowledged the shadows for what they truly represented, the pain of being human, they could rise against it with unwavering solidarity. Zeke stepped forward, their pact still clasped in his hands, the very air vibrating with their resolve. "You are not your fears," he declared, voice rising to become a rallying cry. "We are not alone, let's face these shadows together." Elena felt the warmth radiate through her as Zeke reached for her hand, drawing her closer. They were each a flicker in the expanding canvas of luminescence, their resolve melding together, merging light with light. The shadows paused, lingering at the threshold of their shared each caught between consuming darkness and brilliant illumination. In this moment, Elena took a deep breath and spoke. "We embrace the echoes of our past, the pain we've buried, and the fear we've endured, but together, we are unbreakable." She could feel the heart beat of her crew resonating in harmony with her own, each pulse a hymn of resilience. As she stepped forward, something magical unfurled. The shadows shivered, illuminated by their collective brilliance. Flickers of light ignited at the corners of the room, cascading through the darkness like constellations shimmering against the backdrop of a starry sky. With their connected voice is melding together, Elena felt hope rise and weave around them, filling the air with a song of unity. They sang of renewal, of strength, and of the grace found in vulnerability. The shadows writhed, enveloped in their radiant essence, brought face to face with the very insecurities and regrets they had sought to escape. The darkness began to dissolve, exposing the truth buried beneath layers of fear. It coursed through them, a current culminating in a symphony of healing. Every sorrow they released echoed through the structure, resonating back into the very fabric of the universe, transforming discomfort into acceptance. As the shadows receded, dimmed by their unwavering resolve, the remnants shimmered like stars, now colors of healing and grace. Tears mingled with laughter as they embraced the reality of their transformation. Together, they had sparked a luminescence, turning the fear that once pursued them into light they could wield as their own. With the shadows fading into their past, the crew rejoiced in the realization of their new found strength, grateful for the scars, the wounds that transformed into memories of resilience rather than shame. Here, freed from the abyss, they had finally unraveled the complexities of their emotional tapestry. Their bonds forged still, as their voices quieted. A brilliant glow overtook the fragmented shadows, consuming the last vestiges of doubt. The air hummed, swelling in waves of peace as whispers of gratitude enveloped them, cascading throughout the structure. There lay a future waiting, a place where kindness flourished and connection reigned supreme. Surrounded by the warmth of their practiced unity, they held on to one another as they prepared to leave the remnants of the shadows behind. Zeke stepped closer to Elena, emotions shimmering in his gaze. He reached for her hand, a gesture heavy with meaning. "Thank you for believing in me even when I couldn't find the strength to believe in myself," he said, sincerity coursing through his voice. Elena felt a profound sense of belonging, the recognition that their journey had come full circle. They had reclaimed each other, witnessing not only their scars but the beauty born from vulnerability. It was not enough merely to endure. They had chosen to thrive, to cherish their greatest fears as stepping stones to understanding. As the crew stepped back outside a verdant landscape, awaited them the vibrant colors of Valera blooming under the warm embrace of the twin suns. Birds trilled in delight, filling the air with laughter. The once ominous shadows were merely memories, remnants of a shared trial they had conquered, not forgotten, but reformed. Together, hand in hand, they walked the universe wide open before them, a canvas rich with possibilities painted in hues of adventure. From that moment onward, they understood that every challenge faced together nourished their hearts and forged an unbreakable unity. Together, they celebrated not just survival, but thriving against all odds, resonating with the understanding that love, resilience, and community became their lighthouse in the dark. With vibrant waves of Valera unfurling around them, They looked to the horizon, their road stretching endlessly alive with promise, light, and hope in the years to follow thide forge paths, not marked by shadows but by love and understanding. Elena, Lila, Amir, Samantha, and Zeke stood steadfast, no longer just remnants of their past but beautiful manifestations of shared dreams. They had rekindled their spirits in the heart of darkness, creating a vibrant legacy of strength for those around them. And so, the crew of the Atlas embraced the journey ahead, knowing they had not only vanquished their fears, but also committed to cherishing the beauty of every healing moment together. Through each experience, they resonated with the knowledge that they weren't just voyagers in the vastness of space, but members of a family forever intertwined, a testament to the incredible power of love, connection, and the triumph of the human spirit.